How did you find a way to run from the city of the sun? You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. And I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice, raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Boom.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Today is October 16, 2025. It is 5:26 a.m. So I'm continuing with my recording that was on Vid Sussex. I didn't want to put these tweets with those other tweets regarding the left behind us. Okay, first tweet. She just knows how to let her message flow. She's a leader, a businesswoman, and her aura just fills out the room. She is Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Let's listen. I don't know if I shared this video already on previous recording. 15-second screenshot.
Doing Confessions of a Female Founder, as I was building this, I'd always loved the podcast, how I built this. And I thought, could we do something that feels a little bit like the tenor of how I'm building this? And really be candid, both talking to female, doing Confessions of a Female Founder as I...
I'm changing some tweets, moving some tweets around, because since she's talking about her podcast, and I thought I should share the next 2 tweets regarding her podcast. All right, are there any comments? Yes, she is just a SpongeBob SquarePants body double. That's what? What? I don't understand, but oops. That's not what I want. All right, half empty room. Okay, I don't know why they're saying that. I spoke about it when I must have shared this video because I'm reading some of the comments. The room, okay? For architecture, when you are designing a room, there's some sort of a formula. You have to calculate how many people can fit into a room. Why they do that? Due to safety. If there is a fire, okay, especially for public room like this, they have to have two means of egress, and the doors have to be certain distance apart. Okay, so people don't push through and stumble upon people. And then the way the door swing, okay, has to be out. That's for public rooms like that. Okay, the door have to be able to swing out, not in. Okay, so if there is a fire, you could just push yourself out of there and out. Okay, and there have to be a certain number of occupancy. They have to calculate it. All right, so whether or not the room is filled to the brink or whatever it may be, I don't know. Do people have to pay to get in there? I don't know, maybe. So whatever it may be, there is a number of amount of people that can be in the room. And if there's gonna be table and chairs and all of that, all this has to be calculated. So I don't know what these people are saying, the room is half empty or whatever it may be. Let's leave that alone. I don't know, due to my understanding of the architecture, whatever, I had to bring this in just in case some of them don't understand. And whatever it may be, whether the room was, your eyes could look and see, just because there are tables and chairs, that takes space as well. So it might seem empty, but if it's just people, let's say there's no tables that would take away from the space, and they put chairs right next to each other, there's a certain amount of people that needs to be in there. If there's table and chairs, remember the table have to take some space, so there have to be a calculation for that as well. But anyway, let's leave that alone. That's a different story. Next tweet. All right, so since she was talking about the podcast Confession of a Female Founder, so there have been some news about that. There was how do they call this, where people have to cast their vote to see who's the best whatever podcast of that particular moment. So she won. Okay, I'm just letting it be known. So this is one of the tweets leading up to that. Squaddies is always putting in the work. Congratulations to Meghan. All right, so she retweeted herself here. And when our podcast wins a Signal Award too, must be tough being a hater in 2025. All right, so let's read this. Let's pause. For real, Meghan vote in the sand, and all the good stuff keep happening. Meghan needs to write on the sand yearly for luck and to ward off evil spirit like trolls, bats, and haters. Clearly, their hate has been intervened by Lady Karma. All right, oh my goodness, the meltdown would be worse than a volcano. We know how to drive haters mad without even trying. That's my girl. True that. There's all of that. So let's go into this. She retweeted herself here. I would have given up after, I believe this is Paris Fashion Week. Personally, way before, but yeah. There's that. Deal with it. OMG. Is there another award? OMG. I'm jumping off my sofa. Laughing my ass off. They should have given up since the beach video at the start of the year. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. And that has to do with the podcast as well. Okay, so Meghan podcast won a gold. Okay, she spelled that wrong. Won a gold award. Should have been WON. Won a gold award and Listener's Choice Award. The gold award is decided by the judge. Okay, business people, entrepreneur, shaping culture. Confession of a Female Founder with Meghan. Genre, business people, entrepreneur, shaping culture. Okay, 2025 gold. There's that. Judges. Oh wow, really? I didn't know she won in the Judges Gold and Listener's Choice. Incredible achievement from this queen. Come to think of it, this could have been a glory for Spotify have they not been selfish and foolish. Alright, so there's more talking about it. That's extra. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, wins Best Podcast for Business People, Entrepreneurship in Cultures at the Signal Award for the Confession of a Female Founder podcast series. Congratulations to Meghan. I really enjoyed this podcast series and hope one day we get a second series of it. All right, so people, this is fashion. Let me pause and put it for you guys. Okay, so I add this and that. Let's go into that regarding the award. I think I read this, right? All right, so that's that. Okay, congratulations on well-deserved award, Meghan. So proud of all your accomplishment. Wishing you continued success in all your enterprises. There's that. Congratulations. So people are pretty much congratulating her. Let's go to the other one I just added regarding fashion. That's for the fashion squaddies. Meghan Sussex has been wearing pencil skirt and monochromatic outfit from her acting days to now. It's her signature look. She's a pro at it. Duchess of Sussex is the blueprint. Alright, so these are some of the pictures. There they are here. Pencil skirts. There's that. There's that. There's that. That's not a skirt except this one. Okay. Yep, she loved monochromatic and a comfy trousers and top with blazers. That's her signature look. Alright, let's see here. The squad have to find receipt. Meghan Markle opened up about her love of fashion, cooking, roasting dinners, and handwritten notes. Okay, when was that? That was 2017, okay? It's very small, but it's right here, 2017. You can still dress really comfortably. I dress monochromatically, some really great comfy trousers and a comfortable top. Again, the black blazer, something like that, just so you look refined, she adds. The key is to have your own point of view attached to it. Personally, I love crop pants and vegan leather. Vegan leather. I never heard of that. Leather. A great fitted blazer and a button-down shirt, she admits. Okay, so there's all of that. This one too. I'm telling you, the squad or something. There's that. It's what us short girls do. This is definitely one of her signature look. Love the red combo. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so this is extra as well. Okay, it's probably have music. It's things I'm probably gonna have too. But anyway, the thing I was gonna say here, these people have some mental issues. They're complaining, but yet they're clicking. Next one. Is that the one that I went over there already? Yeah, I went over that already. Fashion. Okay. Why am I okay? I went through that. Yes, Meghan is beautiful. Yes, she knows how to wear beautiful clothes. But what makes me profoundly proud of her is her poise, her resourcefulness, her amazing public speaking, her freedom, and her resilience. From Paris to Washington, via New York, our princess delivered. One of the things, after listening to some of the audios from her summit, is that after Paris, she went to California, and then from California, she went to New York, and then from New York, she went to DC. And I was somewhat close to that, to what I said. And it seems like what I had thought is what other people have thought as well, and she corrected it. All right. And one of the things I mentioned on the video that I'm editing right now, because they were some squaddies were talking about some of Harry's old security, and there's one security they mentioned they haven't seen, but since both of them, Harry and Meghan, are out, the kids have to, even though yes, there are nannies who's taking care of them, the everydays, the bathing, the food, all of this stuff, to take care of the kids. So there have to be security still around those kids. So I'm assuming that particular security guard, security the squaddies were mentioning probably is in California, to look after the kids. Okay, that's what I assume. It's her active kindness and thoughtfulness toward others that I admire. Yes, she is the hurricane they can't stop. Well done, Meghan. And then let's not forget to always keep our prayers for them, because these people, they do not like to see people in peace and enjoying themselves. Even though you mind your own business, you leave them alone, you move far away from them, they still can't stand it. So our prayers must always be there for Harry and Meghan. Okay, that's the heart she did. Okay. Can say I've seen her in beautiful clothes all that often, and yes, she is good at speaking in public, but what does she actually say? I'm sorry if you cannot get it. She seems to talk a lot, but saying nothing. So I ran out of character. You seem to listen to her a lot and still come out understanding nothing. You should stick to the left behind royals and listen to people who mumble. It seems like this is what you prefer. So why are you here listening to Meghan, Duchess of Sussex? What draws you to her? Stop punishing yourself. All right, so that's that. I don't know. There's some problem with these people. There is some problem with them. All right, next tweet. Let's leave that alone. Okay, so I saw this a while ago. I forgot it was on the list. This. Okay, Adele is her. For real. Fire the goat. Let's listen to that. This is 1 minute and 16 seconds. I have no idea what this is about. Okay, I saw it a while ago.
So I just found out the craziest fact about Adele, and I can't believe no one ever talks about this. Adele only has 62 songs, 4 albums, and has won 16 Grammys within those 4 albums.
Quality.
16. Hold on, it gets better. Listen to this shit. If you were to look up Adele on any DSP, any digital streaming platform, you will only see her albums. Adele has never done a feature with anybody. She's never remixed her songs, no deluxes. She amassed 16 Grammys with 0 features. 0! And 0 remixes, 0 deluxes. I mean, come on, bro. Shorty is her. Shorty is legitimately one of the greatest artists who have ever touched the mic. No cap. Hold on, get a load of this. Adele is the only white female R&B/soul artist in the industry right now. The only one. But before Adele, it was Amy Winehouse, but RIP to her. She's no longer with us. Yeah. Man, talk about a goat.
It's funny that, well, it's not funny. Amy Winehouse, this is not someone I used to follow, but I was aware of her. I remember exactly where I was when I heard she passed. And for some reason, I do not know why. For someone I don't follow, but aware of her, she used to be on the news because of her drinking, her substance abuse and whatever. I used to see her. Maybe this is why I'm aware of her. But when I found out she passed, it really affected me. It was, I believe it was in the summer time when she passed away, because I was on vacation. I had my firstborn. He was a baby. And I was at my cousin's house in Maryland. And then I picked up my phone and I saw it. I was like, wow. and it hit me really hard. Let me see something. Let me go search. It has to be during the summer because I remember I was on vacation. Yeah, I was right. There it is here. Amy Jane Winehouse. Okay, let me focus on the day she died. Okay, died July. Okay, I was on vacation. July 23, 2011. Age 27. Wow, very young. May she rest in peace. Whatever that she went through. Because there are people, the devil around them. Anybody who succeed, those devil come around them and then to get her money. I don't know her full background, but I know there was substance, and you know what? Let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone. But the thing that I was feeling right now, it could be completely 100% wrong, but let's focus on this. Yeah, I remember when she died. I was on vacation in Maryland. I'm moving it back. Let's listen to him.
Right now. The only one. But before Adele, it was Amy Winehouse, but RIP to her. She's no longer with us. Man, talk about a go. Like, Adele, you got it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, even Drake, they not touching your type of talent. They're not touching your type of consistency. Shout out Adele. And I know when she drops, it's gonna be a fucking banger.
Wow. He's giving her her flower. Okay, and her best song is not available on digital platform. Yep. Okay, I don't follow this type of thing, so these are people who know their stuff. She has a feature here. There's that here. Okay, I think he meant on her own music, but yes, that's her only feature. 100% that B. There's the B here. She can't dance. It doesn't matter. She's there for the song, her voice. Okay, what does that have to do with literally anything? Yeah, who cares? Many of these other singers, they, what would you say? Rubber stamp or put a band-aid by doing those glamorous, the light, the action, the dancing to sort of cover the voice. Sometimes there are music, all you're hearing, yo, yo. Majority of the song is like 2 or 3 words. But anyway, let's leave that alone. It was on my list for a while ago, okay, when I started putting this list together, and I just add to it. Alright, so what is this here? The commanding energy that silences a room. HRH Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, still here. Alright, so, oh my God, 4 minutes. Let's listen to that. Okay, she's doing a review. Could it be since Paris? I've shared her videos before. Let's listen.
Everyone wrote about, but almost no one understood. What do I mean? I'm talking, of course, about Meghan Sussex at Paris Fashion Week. She was front row Balenciaga, a vision in white, flawless skin, very sleek hair, and that calm, commanding energy that could silence a room. But this isn't just fashion. That's not what I'm here to talk about. This is strategy. It's a masterclass in modern influence. Because while some PR commentators are busy over-analyzing the cut of her dress, the shade of her lipstick, they're missing the real headline. And that is the true value of that appearance.
I have to say here, okay, this is why so many people have different skill set or different interests. Okay, some of the people who highlight Meghan's Fashion Week in Paris, they see something the same way this lady is seeing something. Okay, she's about business and things like that. There are people who's about fashion. There are those who are about makeup. They point out things that they see based on their skill set or things that they are interested in. So this is what's good with so many squaddies, because there are so many squaddies who are interested in a lot of different things. So when you see something, you point it out, it might give people a different look. Okay, until Meghan come out and said, for a fact, I wanted to support Balenciaga because I wanted to do this, which she has already point out that she called Balenciaga. Well, not her who said it. It is Balenciaga who said that Meghan called him and asked to come or something, and he invited her and kept it quiet. So this aspect of her appearance is settled with. But why did she want, unless she tells us? But whatever it may be, it's good to listen to different point of view, different perspective. Maybe you didn't see it this way, maybe you saw it that way, whatever it may be. Okay? So I will not dismiss anybody's point of view because they see what they see. Either you agree or disagree. But let's continue. Let me move it back slightly.
Her dress, the shade of her lipstick, they're missing the real headline, and that is the true value of that appearance. It's an estimated £40 million conservatively in global PR impact. Yes, £40 million from one moment of presence. That's not coincidence, that's architecture.
Okay, like I was just saying, Balenciaga just said she wanted to come and support him. From what I understand, it seems like there was no money exchange. Okay? So that's that.
She didn't post, she didn't tag, she didn't need to, because her showing up in Paris to support her friend Pierre Parlo, and one of fashion's most powerful creative directors, that was all it took. Every camera turned, every outlet wrote, and every platform lit up. That's not hype, that's earned media, and that's the kind of coverage that many luxury brands, they dream of, they plan for, and they spend years trying to engineer. And the irony is that the same PR experts who are rushing to write think pieces are the ones who missed the business story completely. They'll write essays about timeless minimalism or the symbolism of her wearing white, but they won't mention the metric that matters. And that is the visibility value metric. £40 million, and that's a conservative estimate. I honestly think it's more towards 100 million, but let's conservatively say £40 million of visibility value was generated by one woman, one outfit, and it wasn't a PR stunt, it was influence currency, because in the world of luxury,
I was like, I sort of understand her, and I was losing it a little bit, but when she said influence currency, and I was like, that's it. But yes, a lot of PR companies, this is something they dream of. They'll spend millions of dollars to have that kind of influence. So Meghan did it, from my understanding, for free, okay, just to support a friend. And I'm sure he will never forget what Meghan just did for him, even though he had his own name or whatever. But knowing that kind of talk and that influence, that PR that just went on, this is something I think he will never forget. Because there were other things that were going on in Fashion Week. I don't know. I'm not into fashion. It then popped up on my timeline, except for Meghan going over there to support him. All right, but let's continue.
That is how real power moves. It moves quietly. It's not about talking, it's about the impact. Also, she doesn't need to campaign for relevance. She creates it by walking into the room. That is brand equity. That is positioning. And the beauty of it was that she didn't overshadow Pierre Parlo.
She's absolutely right on that. I completely understand her in that aspect. And also, what I think it is for Meghan, even though she did it for free, it's an investment for her as well. Anybody who's asking her to leave her babies to come and represent certain brand, they're gonna have to cough up some money. This was an investment for her. She did it for free, but for future PR, let's say a company would like for her to show up, not only, first of all, she's gonna look on that particular company's background. Are you aligning with me? Or what's your values? How you do certain things? And if she decided to say, yes, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna leave my babies alone to come and represent your brand, you're gonna have to cough up some money. Okay? That was also an investment for her. Okay? Without, we've seen even her product. There's no advertisement for her thing, her gem, whatever she sells on as ever. There's no advertisement at all. All she did, she put it on IG and said, this is the date of the release, and then boom, everybody's waiting for that date to come, and then purchase, and quickly sold out. Okay, so all of this, okay, or an investment for her, especially with that what she did in Paris. That was an investment for her, so that I understand her. Let's continue.
Remember the ones obsessed with overshadowing? Well, she didn't overshadow the creative director. Her presence actually validated Balenciaga,
right.
and it validated their moment of artistic reinvention, and it humanized, giving it warmth, and it gave him connection. And it's the perfect synergy, as far as I'm concerned, where purpose meets prestige. She shows loyalty, he gets legacy, the brand gets global buzz, and everybody wins. And
I agree with her. She's 100%. I agree with her.
that is why I love Meghan, because she's always said that a high tide raises ships. She's all for everyone eating, and that is what I love about her. But anyway, what do you think? So I've estimated the visibility value to be about 40 million, because on average it's between 15 to 40 million. But I think with a luxury brand like Balenciaga, I think it's closer to the 100 million mark. And if they had to spend a great deal of money to get that, oh my goodness, it would have taken a lot more than the reported 7 figures that Meghan was paid for her appearance. But anyway, let me know what you think. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur. And for more insights like these, please like, share, comment, and follow me.
Yeah, I agree with her. So if Balenciaga had to spend to get that kind of visibility, it would have cost him that much. But Meghan did it for free. Okay, Balenciaga director said Meghan was not paid, which, yes. Okay, check the video with the cut woman. After listening to her, I think she was doing an estimate. If it was being paid, that's how much it would have cost. But yeah, we know, and I mentioned it already. Your point on, okay, let's pause this. Okay, that's the only 2 responses. Your point on, I always ask myself how much money Meghan Sussex generated in one event for the media and the business, fashion industry in general, because people buying expensive or not expensive versions, something similar to Meghan Sussex choice, and that speaks volume. Okay, but technically, Meghan did not get paid for it. Okay, it was Meghan who called, and Balenciaga kept it quiet, and yeah, but that's that. So now we are here. This will be part 2. Okay, let me pause. I need to wake up my kids.